Hey everyone, it's Alex, and today I have a very special video for you. The Marvel Snap content creator community is amongst the most talented and incredible communities I have ever been a part of. This content creator community has strengths in so many different ways. We have some of the highest ranked players, we also have some of the most entertaining players to ever play a card game, and everything in between. We have extremely talented deck builders, we have amazing content creators writing incredible articles on fantastic websites. We have so much happening in Marvel Snap that it can be easy to miss anyone in particular doing an amazing job providing amazing content for you, the player. This video serves as the first in what I hope to be an ongoing series, where I'll be featuring other content creators in order to kind of shed light on some of the amazing work happening in the Marvel Snap community. These are people that are producing amazing content that I believe to be of incredible value to you, the players, and to the entire community playing Marvel Snap. Now, we joke a lot in my videos about pressing the like button because it's all that YouTube cares about, but in this video, I'm actually going to really ask you to, because if you hit the like button today, well, not only does it help this video, but it also helps provide exposure to the people that are in it, the people that I believe really deserve it. And I hope to make this an ongoing series that we feature every once in a while some new and upcoming creators in the space of Marvel Snap doing amazing work. So with that being said, I really hope you enjoy this video. We have 5 amazing creators here. We're going to be showing you fantastic decks they created. They're going to pilot the decks with me in live games. And overall, guys, I really hope that you find it in yourself to check their content out, find their YouTube channels, check them out on Twitch, and most importantly, support the amazing content that's being generated in Marvel Snap. Alright guys, we're here with Snapster, one of my absolute favorite content creators in Marvel Snap. Snapster, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Now, I gotta tell you, I actually am a fan from your prior work, so I'm actually super excited to see you playing Marvel Snap. When you started coming up on my YouTube feed, it was the fastest subscription I think I've ever sauced to anybody. So, I gotta tell you, I'm glad that you're here. And what enticed you to come over to Marvel Snap?
The game is good. I like the game. I like good card games, so that's why I stopped playing Hearthstone.
And I mean, like, okay, so you have a ton of experience with Hearthstone, right? And so for me, it's like, it's interesting to have someone like of your caliber come on over. And like, so what are the things that you feel like Marvel Snap has kind of innovated on and kind of done better than Hearthstone did?
I think one of the main issues I have with Hearthstone is power creep, but I guess Snap doesn't have that yet. Another issue is the coin. I felt like coin was just really bad. Going first was so OP in Hearthstone. And Snap kind of gets rid of that. I like both players going at the same time. Also, losing doesn't feel as bad. Hearthstone, you play a 20-minute match and all of a sudden you lose because they got the right 50-50, which sucks. With Snap, sometimes that happens, but it's only a 3, 4, 5-minute game, so it just doesn't feel as punishing. Also, the snapping cube acquisition is it's so good. It's so good. I love it.
Yeah, raising the stakes is awesome. Now, you actually mentioned something that I had never considered. I kind of forgot that the coin existed. You're right. That's a huge balance problem, isn't it? And we kind of solve it here in Snap, but just by playing at the same time.
Yeah, I was looking at my stats over like thousands of Hearthstone games, and it was like when I had gone first, my win rate was like 5 to 10% higher than when I started with coin.
That's
So,
insane.
yeah.
Wow, I never considered that before. And I mean, yeah, so anyways, we're glad that you're here playing Marvel Snap, making amazing Snap content. And of course, as always, all the links are going to be down below. Awesome stream as well. A lot of energy in your stream, actually. You have like all the sound effects going all the time and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's a great stream. I really enjoy it. And so you also gave us a really interesting deck list, one that like on first glance, I see Moon Girl, I see Claude. I'm like, what is this? So I'm glad you're here to explain it, because at first glance, I am confused as hell, and I gotta give you bonus marks here. Is this a Medusa? Is this the first time that like someone's playing Medusa competitively? Like, this is insane.
It's actually a solid deck. I have not played it much since Silver Surfer stuff, so
Okay.
we'll have to see how it goes. I didn't want to play this in Lamentis because it just wasn't good in Lamentis, but we'll see how it goes. It went quite positive for me before Lamentis, before Silver Surfer. The whole idea is to put a lot of things that have 4 power because it's a Cerebro deck. We have 4 power minions with Medusa. That's why Medusa's here. Never seen her before in any other deck. It's true, because she's just not that good, but she has 4 power. That's why we're running her. It is a Cerebro deck, Cerebro 4, hence C4. So Cerebro works really well with Mystique, obviously.
Yeah.
If you don't have Mystique, I would consider not playing this deck. To capitalize on Mystique, we are running Claw as well, in addition to Cerebro. Sometimes you don't copy your Cerebro, you just get an extra Claw. And to make Claw even better, we run a little bit of Disruption with Storm to cancel a lane and they get cheeky cubes with that Claw. Storm does not have 4 power, so that sucks. There's no location disruption with 4 power yet, I don't think.
No, you got Rhino, you got Scarlet Witch, you got Storm, basically.
They should make Rhino 4 power. They should do it.
I'm all in. Rhino feels so useless. I mean, Silver Surfer Rhino's pretty good, though.
Yeah, that's true. But Silver Surfer Storm feels a little better.
True, actually. It's still better. Yeah, I know.
There's no reason to run him. We got Sabretooth here because you can eat him with Carnage, and then Carnage becomes 4. And then you have a 0-mana Sabretooth in your hand, which you can copy with the Moon Girl. Moon Girl is sometimes just your best play, but often getting an extra Cerebro or Mystique or a 0-mana Sabretooth is just huge. We have Sarah in here, so we could vomit a lot of things out on the final turn, like a normal Sarah deck does. Ant-Man, 4 power. And Carnage also eats Mysterio, is that his name? Mysterio, yeah. Mystique, Mysterio, they got like the same font. It's confusing, you know. But we eat one of the clones with Carnage. So Carnage, sometimes hard to get 4 power, but just make sure you don't get him to 6 power.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Cerebro decks that always stress me out is all the location things. Someone plays Scorpion, it just feels terrible. Like, there's so much that kind of can throw off a Cerebro list. You find yourself, like, dealing with those challenges okay, or what?
God, it's hard. That's why we threw the location disruption in here. Storm wasn't in here originally, but getting rid of something that increases your power is good. Something that decreases your power is good. But we tend to win anyway. Like, I have my YouTube video on this. The first game is insane. We have like a Jotunheim, and we managed to make this like a C3 deck. Because I think we got like, maybe we got Scorpions and we ended up turning into a C3 instead of a C4. Or I don't know. It's fun. It's always like a really enjoyable puzzle.
That's awesome. Well, you know what I think we should do now? We got to get a dub with it, right?
We got to try.
All right, let's get to it. All right, and we're in. First location is Starlight Citadel. We have the Ant-Man. What are your thoughts?
I think we hold it, actually.
Hold it?
Hold it, yeah. We don't want to get Killmongered. I think there's a lot of Killmonger, right?
Yeah. And
then maybe we can copy it with what's her name, Moon Girl.
Okay, I respect this decision. See, I had to play. Oh. Okay, it's just close.
That's fine. Hopefully mid is good for Medusa.
It is.
It's not bad. All right, I think we just Medusa mid.
Medusa mid. Yeah. Here we go. The best place to play Medusa. The only place to play Medusa.
The only right place to play her, yeah.
We're going to get hit with Death Wave for sure here.
Do people have all the cards?
X-Mansion's
What's
so
going
bad.
on? X-Mansion's really bad. We just need a really a weak a weak minion in X-Mansion. We
can Carnage it regardless of what it is, but
if we get Carnage, yeah. So maybe we Sabretooth left. We just want to diversify. You know what? X-Mansion, it's going to have 4 power.
You think?
Yeah, it's going to have 4 power.
This God Gamer just Hulkbustered the Deadpool, so we're off to a great start.
I talked to Ben. He gave us a 4 power.
Well, it's a Black Panther.
It was kind of 4 power.
He got the 4 power.
Okay, this is fine because we win without C4. We go Claw Mystique. So now the game plan is maybe Mysterio mid with we can also throw Ant-Man mid.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I like this. And then we're gonna Claw mid and Mystique left. That's probably
Buddy, I love this. Do you want me to snap back?
Sure. 8 cubes.
The sure.
They don't know what they're.
I like how you're like sure, like totally not confident at all. Just like
my confidence level is 6.
I'm all about snapping.
Out of 100, not out of 10.
I've been described as the Mr. Beast of donating snap cubes.
That's quite a title.
It is. It is quite the title.
Okay. They got a big mid, but we have a larger mid.
All right.
Once we play Claw. Oh,
Sarah's an interesting option here now too, because now we.
I think we Sarah into Claw Mystique.
Sarah's got to go.
Sarah. Sarah can't go mid is the only thing. If she goes right, we're also gonna Claw, so we can add 6 right. So I feel like we Sarah left.
Sure. That makes sense too. Yeah, we just need to leave the space open.
Yeah, I like Sarah left.
Okay, let's go. That's actually pretty solid. Then we can miracle the Claw Mystique. This is nice. It's not quite miracle playing 2 cards, but whatever.
It's kind of. It's
Hey, we just dodged a bullet there.
Okay. This is good. This is good stuff.
This is very good, yeah.
Yeah. We got 8 cubes here. It's Claw left, Mystique mid. Because we're gonna add 6, 7, 8, 9 to the mid. So we're winning mid, we're winning left, and we're winning right. So they have to add power to all 3 lanes, unless question mark.
Unless. You know what, man? I don't think anything beats us. This is the easiest 8 cubes of my career.
Yeah, Claw's the cube thief. We got this.
Let's go. It's Killmonger, which I mean we're always
does kill our Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's kind of problematic. Deadpool comes out.
Okay, maybe did we lose? No, we got it.
Because we beat him there.
Mysterio's mid. Yeah.
Let's go. We beat him by.
And we tied.
Yes, unbelievable. Let's go. It was never in doubt.
No one can play around the claws. 2 claws. Yeah.
Claw Mystique. What a gamer. I'm giving this guy the thumbs up. He earned those negative 8 cubes, buddy. I wish you should just coach me all the time. Oh, he gave me the fist bump. I respect that, dude. We got to give this guy a fist bump. That was a great game. Who would ever thought?
We didn't even play Cerebro, though.
I know, we didn't even play Cerebro, but you know what? You proved that we have options. We don't need Cerebro.
Yeah. Exactly. The random Black Panther was completely fine. That did help. Wait, if we didn't have Black Panther, if it was flipped, we still would have won.
Yeah, but like it's crazy though. But that's like what Cerebro decks do. Like you have to like deal with all these mitigating factors.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway,
we also have to. Yeah, we have to keep in mind they didn't know where the real Mysterio was. Too,
true.
Right?
True. And this guy even got nerfed, but low key buff for Cerebro 4.
Low key buff. Exactly. Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much for joining me, guys. As I said before, all of Snapster's links will be down in the description below. I highly encourage you to check them out. Snapster, thank you so much, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, and with me today we have Falcone. Falcone, how are you, buddy?
I am doing great. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, of course. Listen, you've got an absolutely amazing deck, but before we get into that, I would love to know, because you've been streaming and making content for a while, you've been around card games for a long time, so please tell me about yourself, because I'm fascinated to know more.
All right, I'm gonna try and cut a long story short, but it's been a turbulent 5 or 6 years in this sort of sphere. I started by getting a little bit too addicted to Hearthstone, ended up streaming it, then ended up being a caster and working for Blizzard for a few years. And then I got a bit burnt out on Hearthstone, a bit burnt out on card games. So I moved from Hearthstone into more general hosting, and I worked with all sorts of brands. I worked on some Fortnite. I worked with Supercell a lot on Brawl Stars esports as a stage host. And then the certain pandemic happened, and I was stuck at home, and so I couldn't really travel and cast and host anymore. So I moved into trying to stream full time, where I found Among Us and got into a good group for that game, and so I grew as an Among Us streamer for a while, and then again got burnt out on that because the game wasn't really updated at all in the year or so that I was playing it every day. And then I discovered Marvel Snap. I can't remember how I first saw it. I mean, I knew that Ben Brode had joined this, or had made this new company called Second Dinner, because obviously Ben Brode was a key part in Hearthstone, and I'd worked with Ben Brode once at the Hearthstone Championships in Amsterdam back in 2018. So I've worked with him. I'd worked with a few other members of the team, like Molly and a few of the others. And, you know, they're all great people. They all did great stuff for Hearthstone. So as soon as I heard about Marvel Snap, I was like, oh my gosh, it's a card game. It's similar-ish to Hearthstone. You know, it's not really gameplay wise, but it's almost the same sort of vibe. It's this brand new polished card game with a new idea, pushing in sort of a new area. made by Ben and the team, and it's like, yeah, I've got to get involved in this. I've got to play it, and it's also Marvel, which I freaking love. I love the MCU. You know, Endgame and Infinity War are probably my favorite films. So yeah, I had to get involved, and here we are now, a few months later, and I'm addicted.
Yeah, same here. It's so funny. Like it's similar for me, where I was doing a whole other game, starting to get burnt down, stuff like that. Then I played a ton of Hearthstone as well, which I know I pronounce incorrectly. Every time I say Hearthstone, people are like, "Bro, like what is it?" That's not how you say it. I don't know, man. And anyway, so I played a ton of it. I have a huge collection. And when it was announced that Second Dinner was creating Marvel Snap, like literally, I was streaming a whole other game. I was like, you know what? I'll sign up for the beta. Like I'm interested. I love everything Bro did. I loved Hearthstone, and it was crazy because like when I got into this game, I was like, this game is amazing. Like it's like it learned all the lessons from Hearthstone, and like playing turns at the same time and the snappier turn. Like, do you remember getting roped over and over and over again in Hearthstone? Just being like, oh my god, right?
I remember commentating, look, as a caster, right? There are games of Hearthstone that I have commentated that have gone on for hours. I mean it, like sets, like best out of fives. There was one in Poland once where I think the entire set lasted 3 hours. And by the end, I was done. I was wiped for the day.
That's so funny. But anyways, that's an amazing origin story. It's great. It's nice to know that in Marvel Snap we already have like some casting pedigree in here with Falcone. Anyways, why don't you talk us through this deck, because I'm seeing something really interesting here, and I would love for you to explain how this is going to work.
All right, so this deck is a bit of fun. I'm not gonna get out there and claim it's the best deck in Marvel Snap as much as I'd like to. It really is just a bit of fun. I'm not going to guarantee that if you play it, you'll gain loads of cubes, but the general idea behind it is you've got Thanos in the deck, less for Thanos himself and more for the Infinity Stones. And obviously these are all one-cost cards that have their own effects. They have you drawing cards, etc. And the real point of this deck is everyone's favorite doggo, Lockjaw. The idea is you play Lockjaw as soon as you can, and then you just start playing your stones into Lockjaw and summoning all of the big things that we've got in the deck. We've got Leader, we've got Giganto, we've got Death, we've got Arnim Zola, which is there for a little high roll potential. You know, if you can get an Arnim Zola and hit one of your other big things, then you can spread the power across the board into the other locations. Is it going to win any games? Who knows? But give it a shot, and I'm sure you'll have a good time.
This to me looks like you woke up in the morning and chose chaos. You're like,
I just woke up and I was like, all right, 6 cost, 6 cost, 6 cost, 6 cost, and Thanos. Why not?
This is one of the greediest lists I've seen in a while, and I love the Killmonger too. Like, so talk to me about the Killmonger tech. Like, what's your thought behind it?
I just think Killmonger's a pretty good card. Like Killmonger and Shang-Chi. If I can possibly justify squeezing them into the deck, then I will. And again, what makes Killmonger even better in this deck is, well, 2 factors actually. 1, it's got an on-reveal effect, so by default, it's pretty good with Lockjaw. But 2, it can destroy stones, which can sort of clog up your board and get in the way, and so, you know, just Killmonger them away. I think most Thanos decks run Killmonger at the moment, but with this deck in particular, you don't even care too much if you hit the Power Stone, because Thanos isn't really a main win condition with this deck. In fact, I'd be surprised if you can get the 18 power Thanos down. That's not really the goal here.
I actually feel the exact same way, and like Cozy and I have talked about this in like on our cast and stuff like that, where I've said like, you know what, like Thanos feels weird because like if you don't start with a stone, it's like there's no hope you're ever getting to the +10, right? So I wonder, like, he does feel like slightly undertuned at times, but the stones themselves are actually incredible. Like, if you think about it, this is a 1-cost Scarlet Witch, right?
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's pretty cool. Like it's a really interesting mechanic, and I'm sure over time like we'll continue to like figure out new decks and stuff, but this is absolutely wild. And I can't wait to pilot it. I'm gonna definitely give this deck a try. So why don't we?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Well, there's a slight problem with this hand. There's no doggo.
Yeah, we don't have our doggo here. Okay, so basically, what do we do here? Do you think we go into Mojo World with the Reality Stone? Or do you think we just skip?
Well, I'm jamming the stone. I don't really care where you put the stone, because like I don't really care if it's Mojo World or not. But like,
it's gotta go.
We need to draw. We need to start drawing cards. So
you know what? I think Mojo World might work against us, considering we are running Killmonger here. So let's actually get rid of Mojo World.
I agree.
This gamer skips turn 1, as is so often. Oh, we got the raft and a Mind Stone. Okay, we're gonna play into this raft, are we?
Yeah, that's a pretty good combo.
Yeah, I like this. Okay, Mind Stone coming out.
Wait. Do we ever put the Mind Stone in Sinister London?
You know what? I got so excited about the raft, I almost didn't even notice Sinister London. You're right.
Then we draw 4 stones, and that's all of them.
I think we have to. And they can end up in the raft anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly. Next turn we can play all 3 stones that we draw into the raft.
Do we snap on this fool or what?
If you want.
I always want to snap. Let's go. We got Mind Stone into
Do it.
Sinister London. Come on now. You gotta have faith, my friend.
I mean, imagine, you know, we could play all the stones. We could play Thanos into Sinister
Oh.
London. This could be the dream.
How about this guy's dream? Oh my god. Disaster. It's okay.
All right, let's claim that raft.
Just claim the raft. We just got thumped so hard by that scorpion.
We just need to draw the Power Stone, though, and then we get a...
Oh, it's Heimdall.
Okay.
Of all people, it's Heimdall.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the 8 power twice.
Can't draw anything. I think we just let these guys get destroyed, no?
Yeah, if your opponent plays anything there. Oh, yeah, put the -1s to... Oh, no, you can only put the 1 negative.
Yeah, I
on
can only
stone,
move
though.
1 over. I think.
Wait, play Venom on top of the stones, because that guarantees... No, the other stones, the other Harlock, because that guarantees they'll get destroyed, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah, okay, we can do this.
Like, this is a really stupid play, don't get me wrong, but like...
We're
I think it
just
actually
feeding
works
Venom. So yeah, he didn't even play into it anyway.
there. But now, this all gets destroyed regardless, because the opponent's winning. Venom
Yeah.
ends up on -1. Yeah? Yeah, and then Hala destroys it. Perfect.
That was the most convoluted way to make that play.
Hey, if it works, it works.
This might seem wild, but I think we skip this turn.
And then go Heimdall leader next turn, or Heimdall Zona next
Yeah,
turn.
I think we figure out this next turn. I think we
Okay,
actually
okay.
skip here and we play something
Alright.
huge into, because like it's not worth even playing Shang-Chi. It's not worth playing Electro. Yeah, we gotta wait.
Yeah.
This has been okay. Like I knew this deck was gonna take us somewhere. Though I don't know what the hell that player just was. And
Well,
don't
I
think
mean-
this is not a bot either.
Is leader on its own just enough to win us the game here? No, because if they play anything in Sinister London, we only get 1 copy. But if you play leader on Sinister London, then you get multiple copies. And Heimdall in the raft. Yeah. That guarantees
This is
winning the
this
raft.
wins it. This is
I
8
think.
cubes, buddy.
I think we're good.
Falcone, this is 8 cubes. Are you ready
But
for
then
this or what?
It really depends what the opponent plays. If they play like a full board full of stuff, we could lose. But if they play one big thing, we've got this for sure.
Buddy, I have nothing but faith in your deck list. We're going.
Oh,
Okoye, oh, this dude is wasted. This dude has been sipping the juice tonight. Oh my, what is this? I don't know. What is this?
yeah. Wait, is that a win?
I don't even know what happened here. We might actually still lose.
No,
No,
wait,
the Heimdall
wait.
wins. The Heimdall wins.
I
This is
cannot
so
believe
bad.
it. That's such a stupid game. Okay, well, sure. We didn't use the lockable, but you got 8 cubes, so I don't know what to say.
Buddy, 100% win rate deck.
That's it. Never play it again. Definitely never play it again.
Buddy, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. We're going to have you on again for sure, buddy. And for
All
those
right,
that are
thanks for
interested,
having me.
I got all the stuff down below so you can follow Falcone, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and the rest. Thanks, buddy, for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, and now we've got SuperTechGod, one of the absolute best deck builders in Marvel Snap. SuperTech, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great today, man. How are you?
Good, thank you. And I mean, it's crazy. It's so funny. So I actually messaged SuperTechGod. I'm like, hey, we got to do something together. And he's like, yeah, man. I'm like, hey, what's your favorite deck right now? He's like, well, you know me, man. I've got 3 decks I love playing around. I'm like, of course you got 3 decks. So we actually got a special feature for you where for SuperTechGod, we've got 3 decks for you. And but SuperTechGod, before we get into that, man, tell us a little bit about yourself. I believe that you have an excellent podcast.
Yes. So I do a podcast with Lou Muncher, the creator of the Cube Brush. If you guys know what Cube Brush is, it's something that happens almost every Wednesday where a team of people play for an hour to see who get the most cubes. And also with Valentine, who's also an awesome Twitch streamer and content creator. It's called Marvel Snapcast. If you look it up on YouTube or on Twitter, it is called Marvel Snapcast. We talk about everything in Marvel Snap, from the patches to the decks to our favorite cards, etc. It's awesome. It's a delight. Check it out, guys.
That's awesome. And I mean, you do a lot of like deck building with community members as well. I mean, I've sent you decks that I've been like, hey man, what do you think?
Yeah.
You've helped me craft a couple decks. Where do you do a lot of the deck craftings? I see a lot of stuff on Twitter, but I believe you have a Discord too, right?
Yes, I have a Discord. It is the SuperTechGod's domain. I'll send the link. It'll probably be in the description below. And that's all I'm about, helping out the community. I have a ton of people in there every day asking questions about their deck, what to build from Series 1 all the way to Series 4 and 5 cards that they get. Should they do this? Should they do that? And it's always fun. It's great to see other people and their mindset and what decks they want to build. And of course, some of them are phenomenal. And especially with Alex's deck that he's running yesterday with Surfer, it's something different I never thought about. And I'm like, you know what? That's a great deck. I want to try it out. So it's always a great time in the Discord. You guys should come check it out.
I try to be creative once in a while, but I gotta tell you, sometimes my creativity costs me a whole lot of cubes, man.
Yeah, I hear that. It's not about the cubes, but it's about the cubes. I get
Yeah,
it.
for sure. But the other thing worth mentioning is that SuperTech, you and I, we played beta together, both in early beta. The one thing that I can't actually even show you on my screen is if you like variants, SuperTechGod is in like the absolute top tier of variants. Dude, you are keeping the lights on at Second Dinner. Like, what's with your obsession with
For sure.
variants?
I love the art. I used to collect Marvel cards and DC cards back in the day. So just seeing the different variants and different art styles, I enjoy them. I want to have them all, like Pokemon. So I have no problem collecting them, whether I get them in the cash or I have to purchase them with the gold I use. I mean, it's amazing. They are some amazing variants, and I think you're right, Alex. I go to a lot of streams, check a lot of other content out, and I definitely have some variants that I haven't seen other people have currently. So yeah, come check out my streams over at twitch.tv/SuperTechGod. I even put up a slideshow now in my layout of all my favorite variants. So you guys have a good time.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's unfortunately we're capturing my screen, so I can't capture the variants. You got to go see it yourself. So anyhow, let's talk about the first deck that you featured here, and we got the SuperTechGod Hella decks. Why don't you talk us through what the plan is here?
So with this Hella deck, it actually got me to Infinite one season. Don't tell Ordinary Harry that because he doesn't like to hear that. Basically, behind this, the key person in this deck, of course, is Hella, but also the key components are Invisible Woman. Without her, this deck is kind of... You can still run it without her, but I think she is the main purpose of this deck because you can hide all the discard cards behind her, even if you have Hella in your hand. So you don't have to worry too much about discarding Hella. And once somebody hits you with an Enchantress or try to, disrupt Invisible Woman in any way, everything should work out the way it should. With Gambit in this deck, he's just a casino player. There's been games where they have an Infinite in a location by himself. Gambit will come out on that last turn and take that Infinite out. Like, that's it. That's all he's there for, is to help you get lucky and take out one of their biggest cards to help flood the rest of the lanes with Hella. So that's the key component of this deck, is guarding as much cards as you can behind Invisible Woman for the last turn, and of course playing Hella to bring them all back all across the board. And Gambit is just the, hey, let's take a chance and take out one of their big cards, which can help us win that lane.
One thing that I find fascinating is your inclusion of Black Cat, because even in a lot of discard lists, people will skip on the Black Cat. Can you give me a sell on this? Because I'm actually interested, because I mean, we have Black Cat. A lot of us have Black Cat, and we just don't include it by default.
Right. So with Black Cat is, listen, you can't play on turn 3. She shows up in your hand on turn 1. That's a discard already. There's one card already gone that you have to worry about, and it's a 6 cost. So that's the reason why she's in this deck, is because she's a ultimate discard card by herself. You don't have to discard her. You don't have to do anything else but just have her in your hand and not play her. And then she's gone to the win. And then she come back with Hella as a 6 cost. Now, for any reason you have to play on turn 3, she's a 6 power. Why not play her at that moment? But that's the main purpose of her, is just to get her discarded automatically without you having to do anything.
Fascinating. So basically the rest of us just might be sleeping on her, right? Just might be sleeping on it.
100%. She's a 3/6. So, I mean, there's not a lot of 3 high cost cards out there. So if you have to play on 3, I think she's still a good play. But again, without even having to do any work, she goes into the discard pile, and Hella brings back a 6 power card at the end of the turn.
All right, awesome, man, awesome. Okay, well, let's move on to deck number 2 here. We've got the SuperTechGod Death Wave.
Yes, this deck helped a lot of people go Infinite, I believe, the season before last, which is awesome. I felt great about that. A lot of tweets going out. The people use this deck to go to Infinite. Yeah, this is basically the Death Wave deck that included Leader and Professor Xavier, and of course Daredevil. Most Death Wave decks don't have these cards in them, right? Because you want to use cards that you can destroy. You want to use cards that allow you to get as much cards destroyed so that death can be a 0 cost. And of course, with another card, be able to play her and like Taskmaster, or her and Armin Zola, or her and somebody else in the last turn. And what my approach here was, if we can always have death in our hand and get it discarded early, get everything destroyed early, we get a 0 cost 12 and a American Chavez on the last turn.
Yeah.
So we get a 12 and a 9. right? That's guaranteed, right? Now, if we wave early enough and we have Daredevil out, we can also lock down a lane with Professor Xavier, you know? Or we could play leader, right? Or last turn, you play a 0-12 death and a leader, a 6-4 leader, which will play the opponent's card. So that was the main purpose of this deck. Of course, Shang-Chi to help take on any big cards, Rescue to buff and get to 9 as well. And again, Daredevil is just here to help get that Charles Xavier play out early, or again, anything else that's there.
I do love the Rescue into Professor X combo. I think people sleep on this, man. Like, Rescue comes up to a 9, the Professor X activated. It's like, it's the perfect kind of answer to Professor X's 3 power. And I love what you said here. And I was looking at this deck and I realized the brilliance of it. You're right. That death play on turn 6 in conjunction with a leader, how would you even do if you're on the other side? Like, you just lose. Like, it's like, there's no answer.
Correct. So that's the reason why this deck was so great a season ago, because everybody's going to Infinite because of that. You don't see that surprise, right? Because you see people get, destruction happening. Oh, we're playing death, no problem. I could I could go against death and I could combat that. And then all of a sudden, bam, leader plays your card. And you play a death. It's over.
All right, awesome. So now we got a third deck as well, and we have Wakanda Forever.
My favorite deck of last season. So as you guys know, Black Panther came out last season. I tried to take the cards that are in the Battle Pass and go to Infinite with it. And this was one of the cards I did for the first time last season with Black Panther. As you guys know, he doubled this card's power when it's played. So what's great about it is it's a 4, right? So it goes to an 8, so it avoids all the Shang-Chi's. But when it gets Armin Zola, it becomes a 16 across the board. So that was the key purpose of this deck. But what made it more fun was, let's add Okoye. Let's add Armor. Let's add Daredevil. Let's add Electro, right? So the biggest thing here was if we can use Okoye and get Black Panther to 5, and then we put an Armor down, and we put it on a Wong, and then we put Black Panther on Wong, and he doubles, we can then Taskmaster somewhere else and not worry about the Shang-Chi that's going to destroy Black Panther. Of course, if you have priority, and Black Panther now is doubled on the Wong, you can now use Armin Zola, and Armin Zola will copy Wong or Black Panther first, send them to the locations, and then send the other ones there. Now, having Electro on the team is even better, because now you get to do this whole setup on turns 4, 5, and then on 6, you could play Odin on Armin Zola, and Armin Zola will send Odin to those locations with Black Panther and even double him even more.
Because you need 128 power. Because
I just need it. I definitely need it. It's 1024 at that point. And
oh my gosh, I didn't even do the math. Yeah.
Yeah. My birthday is 1024, so I was like, oh, we have to do this every game.
That's so
or I
funny.
retreat.
You know what? I really love the way you deck build, because like you build in these multiple win conditions, and the piloting is so complex, and yet it still makes perfect sense. Like, you really do maximize your win conditions by basically having all these plans. And I love the addition of Electro. And it's funny because when I first looked at the deck list, I was like, Electro's an interesting addition. And then hearing you explain it, and one of the reasons why this is so valuable, it now makes perfect sense. You're right. That Odin play on that last turn, with the Electro, would be absolutely wild. So
correct. Same thing with Doom, right? So if you weren't able to do the Black Panther or Zola, and you have Doom, you can play Doom on 5, and then Odin on 6 on Doom and double up more bots. So that's definitely the reason Electro is there for that as well.
That's fantastic. Well, we're going to take one of these decks and we're going to pilot it into a live game. Monster Metropolis showing first. We don't have a play on 1, which is fine.
No. We can play Daredevil on 2 there.
We've got a Koye, though.
Yeah, we should go for the buff. Let's do it.
Koye into Monster Metropolis?
Yeah.
Every time I have multiple 2 cards with a Koye, like I was playing a Koye Angela, and I'd always like freeze as soon as I drew her. I was like, oh man, I need to play a Koye. I can't play Angela right now.
Right, because you want to buff your deck.
Hell yeah. We're going Electro.
Everything's going to move. So this is great. Yeah, let's put Electro in the mid so everything slides over.
Sure. Yeah, I actually am really fascinated with your Electro tech here. I think this is like amongst the most interesting parts of this deck. I would never have thought to include armor. Not armor, Electro the way you have.
Electro? Yeah.
This guy's thinking his turn through hard. He wants those damn cubes.
He knows everything's going to slide over. Okay. We both get to pay a 5 cost card right now. All right, we can still put Wong on the left.
You want Wong
Yep.
and Monster Metropolis?
Yeah, he's gonna go to the middle. I want to put Black Panther in there with him, and then we can Taskmaster. That's where my head is at. We get Shang-Chi, we could take that out too, if we need to.
Well, bit of an armor problem.
Oh yeah, armor's there.
This
now.
is
That's
the
right.
slide. Cha-cha slide.
All right, we got Armin Zola. All right, so what we could do here is we can go the opposite direction. We could play Doom in the middle, which would give us 10-10.
Doom does feel pretty spicy here.
Yeah, I think we do. So maybe we Doom on the left, and then we Armin Zola Doom afterwards.
Ooh, that's not what
That's
I
what-
expected. So instead of going Doom on the Wong, you want Doom on the left.
Yeah, and then we Armin Zola him next turn.
You hit him
Yeah,
into
put
the
him in
mid- Wow.
Put him in
Okay.
the, yeah. That's what I'm feeling.
And that, my friend, is why you're an infinite player. Right there.
All right, they might be dropping. They didn't play on that turn, so I'm assuming they're trying to either build up. All right, there we go. So we can now Armin Zola Doom.
Yeah, it's odd that they skipped that turn there.
They're gonna probably drop the Infinite. That's what it looks like to me, or maybe not.
What kind of list is this guy playing right now? Because he didn't like Moon Girl or anything for the...
No, for the next drop.
Very strange. It's just my cubes. Oh, doubles left. Not what I expected at all. We're actually giving left, so this might work out perfectly.
That's fine. That might work for
Hell
us.
yeah,
Let's
look
see.
at that.
Yeah, we get the 15. So we get, not 15. Oh, yeah, we got the, yes, right.
So She-Hulk play into Iron Man. Buddy just
Yeah.
got clapped. Let's
We'll take those
go.
victories, though. That's right, we'll take the victory.
Oh,
Put the
buddy.
Armin Zola on the Doom.
Buddy, you piloted that so good. That
Yeah,
was
so like I said,
God
there's
tier.
multiple ways to win. Yeah, there's multiple ways to win this day. We could have also played Doom in the middle, and then we got Odin, which we didn't know about, and we could have played Odin on Doom in the middle. But no, I think the Armin Zola Doom plays better because we weren't worried about the left. We wanted to win the mid and the right, and that's what we did.
Unreal, dude. Well, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it, guys. All the links to SuperTechGod will be down in the description below, and definitely check them out. Thanks for joining me, bud. We'll see you next time.
Yep. Take it easy, guys. Thanks.
And we're here next with HowlingMines from MarvelSnapZone. HowlingMines, how are you today?
Doing really well, thank you, man. How you doing, Alex?
I'm great, and I gotta tell you, MarvelSnapZone is fantastic. It is one of my absolute favorite resources on the internet for any content related to Marvel Snap. And what amazes me about MarvelSnapZone is that, like, the game's only been out for 2 months, but you guys have a website that looks like it has been developed for like 5 years in terms of the amount of content, the straight up like functionality you guys have, the data you guys have. You guys have done a remarkable job.
I can't tell you how much that means to us. We got a fantastic team over here at SnapZone. There's a small handful of dedicated individuals very passionate about the game. We got the website kind of set up during beta, and the owner, Terrence, myself, some fantastic creators like Den, CCG, people like Safety Blade. They work really hard. We put out a lot of very consistent content in all kinds of forms, and we're just so happy the community is like enjoying what we're doing, because that's the goal for us. We want to be informative, we want to be intellectual, we want to like help you get better as a player, and more importantly, I think we want to showcase some of the stuff that like creators like yourself are doing really well as well. We want to show off those deck lists and make sure they reach as many people as possible. And so I'm really glad that you think we're doing that.
Yeah, you guys definitely are. I mean, your tier lists are absolutely fantastic, and all the work you do is great. And I love it because you've come here today with a Sarah Surfer list, and I love it because you have some interesting tech in here, and this is something you guys do really well. Like, you guys often find really unique ways to use cards that some people may not be thinking about. So I look at this list, and yes, I see Silver Surfer Brood. Yes, I see, you know, Polaris and Sarah, but I see Goose and Forge, and I have to ask you, how does this list work? Because when I see Goose and Forge, I get excited.
Super cool to hear. Yeah, this one actually comes from our tier list. I wanted to take something when you asked me to come on that we were going to showcase and be like, hey, look, we think this is good, because it's a perfect example to show people why we think it's good. And now this is a list that was worked on by Den for the tier list. He did a lot of work on this, and I think it's fantastic. There's some great tech choices here that people aren't maybe considering. So we are doing the kind of Silver Surfer plan that a lot of people are getting used to at the moment. This Brood plus Surfer for 15 points of power on a single location. That's very much our like end game. But we are utilizing some tools that, as you say, people aren't using. So Sarah makes a lot of sense, obviously. I think a lot of people have caught on to Sarah being a good card in this deck because it's
No
the only
kidding.
way. Yeah, of course. So the only way for you to play three cost cards on the final turn of the game, because it obviously reduces them all down to 2. So that's what we're going to be looking to do a lot in the late game of this deck. However, in the early game, we've got some useful tools. So Forge, which you mentioned briefly earlier on, is a fantastic tool, not only for some like surprise stats on that final turn with Sarah, people maybe not estimating that something's going to be quite so big in a location that it is, but it plays so well with Brood just on curve, where we can play Forge on 2, play Brood on 3, and just have all these gargantuan bodies that are then ready to receive even more buffs from a Silver Surfer later on, while not having to like hold them in our hand and wait to play them out with Sarah. Goose is another favorite for me in this deck as well. I think it's a really great way of making sure that you win a location that your opponent really can't contest. So you're going to be looking to play this one on a location where you're not going to be looking to play Sarah. So be careful about where you're putting stuff. You got to make sure you don't want to sneak Sarah into a location where Goose is at. But if we can stop our opponent by deploying big stats onto a location with Goose, that means that if we buff all our stuff with Silver Surfer, they shouldn't have the same amount of stats on that location as us over the course of a game. The other thing I really like about this list is we're really big on like location denial and like permission denial in the 3 cost cards we're choosing to play to support that like Sarah Surfer game plan. So we're using Storm and Juggernaut, which is a very powerful 1-2 punch many people are very familiar with, where you're going to be locking off that location, then making sure your opponent can't play anything into it. Both of those cards just happen to be 3 cost cards, which is really powerful with Silver Surfer. And then we've got Polaris, which is a card that I think is maybe a little underplayed in these Surfer decks in general. Very much the same thought process. We want to be able to decide where our opponent's stuff goes so that we can buff everything else and make sure that we're winning those locations. So being able to drag something over into the location Goose is already like locking off from big stats for you, and also just having 5 power by itself is a really strong effect for a deck that cares about what your opponent is playing and where. Last but not least, we've got a few other cards in this deck. Maximus is quite a popular one in these Sarah Surfer decks right now. You've got a really sweet looking variant for it there as well. It's just the biggest stats you can get on a 3 cost card, and you can mitigate the downside of this quite easily by playing it on turn 6 alongside Sarah's game plan, or by playing it with Cosmo, making sure that your opponent can't draw those cards from that effect. And then the only cards we haven't covered at this point is this kind of well-known Killmonger Nova package that you kind of see in here as well. Killmonger is a fantastic 3 cost card that's very good at removing problematic cards from your opponent, and Nova just a great 1-drop to play when you're playing Killmonger to give you extra stats across the board, even more so than before in a deck where you're already planning to go wide. So this is where we are on this deck right now. There's definitely some other versions out there exploring things like Bast, which obviously is a very powerful Series 5 card, but I've been super happy with this list, and I think it's a really good place to start for anyone who's watching the video today.
This is awesome. Like, I really love it. And you know, as you explained the combination with Forge Brood, it's like, of course, like Brood is now with Forge capable of just solo winning a location with Silver Surfer. Like, no one can even contest that. Like, the power is so much.
Sure.
And then like with Goose, like you just slide your 3s underneath Goose, and like it's crazy. Like I used to play Goose in like a Spectrum wand-going list, and the amount of times I punished myself was
Yeah, it's what kind of why I mentioned it in passing. Like when I was picking this deck up and seeing how it played, the amount of times I wanted to like play Sarah in the location that I had Goose at, and I was like, oh, I'm so stupid, I can't do that. And like, yeah, it takes a while to get used to, but this list is really good in the way that the only card that you can get punished for is Sarah. So as long as you're careful about that one, you should be okay.
Yeah, this list is incredible, and we are gonna pilot it in a live game. Howling Minds, we've got Sinister London. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so this is a really promising start, actually. We find ourselves with Forge into Brood, and we also have the Sarah locked up already. So really powerful stuff here, Ellie.
I'm snapping. I'm so confident. I'm so confident.
I can get behind that. It seems like a pretty good start that's worth snapping on early. I think there's a good chance we play Forge into Sinister London to get 2 times the trigger on a Brood, and then we can play Brood in a location that isn't Sinister London, so that we're not trying to fill up everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm not playing a Cerebro list with his Monster Island.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the downsides of Cerebro. Too many locations just like to mess with your numbers. And Warlock from our opponents. There's probably some Bash shenanigans going on the other side of the table here. Baxter Building once again being featured, so I think I'm pretty happy to play this Brood into Baxter Building. This is going to be a huge Brood.
This is insane, yeah. This is beautiful. Look at this. Into Baxter Building, no less. That is a lot
18
of power. Oh, he's actually gonna get a good draw on the one Adam Warlock.
Certainly is. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little hard for us to turn that off, I think. Silver Surf is a really big draw, and we're going to want to stick that into the Sinister London on the last turn of the game if we can help it.
Yeah.
So let's be careful about where our stuff goes. We don't want to fill up too much. So I think we're okay to Polaris in Sinister London here, probably.
Yeah, because
let's see if we can pull the Adam Warlock across.
Hit that Warlock.
And then we
Let's
still
go.
have space. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
No!
Oh, no!
Okay, that didn't quite go to plan, but we did turn off the location, so we're okay.
I was gonna say, how many content creators do you need to make a decent play?
It's okay. Everything worked out. We're okay. Okay, so we do want to play our Sarah here, but we don't want to do it into Sinister London because it'll take up too much space. No, we have space, right? No, we want to play another 3 next turn and have space for that. So I think we're going to play Sarah into either of the 2 non-Sinister London locations. Baxter Building seems fine.
Because we want to contest this with another 3 to get buffed, right?
Certainly do, yeah. So it's either a case of we'll play 2 3s and get a copy of the Surfer.
Actually, we don't need to play Sarah here, do we? Because if we play 1 3 here now, we can play.
We actually kind of want to pass here, right? And then we get to play 3 3. Well, we get to play a 3 and the Surfer, and we'll get 2 3s and 2 Surfers with the spaces that we have left. So I actually think we pass here.
Yeah, we can pass here. Maybe we scare him with a potential Infinite.
Maybe he has to respect the Infinite into Sinister London. That's even a really, really cool upside of what we're about to do. So.
Oh, Mojo was an interesting play, actually.
Okay, so I think I like going for Juggernaut and the Surfer here.
We're going 8 cubes.
I think so. Let's see if we can keep a card out of Sinister London so our opponent doesn't get another duplicate. So Juggernaut Surfer is what I think we're going for here. And we'll have 2 copies of the Surfer as well. Let's see if this is good enough, or whether our opponent thinks we're jamming an Infinite.
No, I think we got this guy. There's no way. There's no way. We got this guy.
Get out of Sinister
London. Now he doesn't win Sinister London. And there's no way he's winning.
We...
Oh! we're making mistakes here.
Maybe he does.
It's Brood? We played. No way, we actually got that win. That was a wild game.
Full 8 cubes. We may have had some teething issues with that one, with some Polaris Juggernaut plays, but you know what? It all worked out, and we get the full 8 cubes.
It's just so funny to me that we miscalled 2 separate plays.
All deliberate. Guys, if you're watching, content creators don't make mistakes. We just pretend that we do because it's entertaining. That was all deliberate and all planned.
Yeah, it was all 100% planned, guys. All 100% planned. HowlingMines, thank you so much for joining me today. Your site's incredible. The work you do is incredible. And your coaching's incredible as well. Your shot calling was on point.
Thank you so much, dude. Thank you for having me. And if you guys haven't checked out the lovely Alex already, you found me through SnapZone showing this video off, please make sure you do go and subscribe to him. If you've come from him, please consider coming and seeing us over at MarvelSnapZone. We do all kinds of YouTube content and written content. You can come and find us at MarvelSnapZone.com for everything on articles and the tracker that everyone loves. Or you can find me personally on our YouTube at MarvelSnapZone, or just at HowlingMines on all the social media channels. So hopefully I'll see some of you there very soon.
Yeah, all the links will be in the description below, guys. Thanks for joining us. All right, everyone, and we are closing out this absolutely amazing video with none other than Cozy Snap. Cozy, how are you today, buddy?
What's up, man? I'm good. It's good to be back here and showcase a deck that I've honestly been loving.
Yeah, actually, it's an amazing deck. You recently did a video about Zero, and I actually loved it. Of course, with everything you do, it's tremendous production quality. A ton of effort goes into it, and I can't wait for you to actually break down this Zero list, because it's actually super interesting, and it's super unique. No one else has quite done anything like it, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on how this list functions.
Yeah, so I decided to play Zero this season with all of the leeches out there and all of the leaders. Like, what is a deck that can counter them both? Now, the biggest con about this deck, and again, I break into all this in the video that you mentioned, but the biggest con of the deck is that it's pretty pull-through heavy, probably the most. And I don't recommend going after the deck token shop-wise, because you're not going to be using, like, Typhoid and Red Skull and other decks. But outside of that, the deck is perfection. I've been climbing like crazy with it for so many different reasons. Now, I've got a couple different variations of it. I've got She-Hulk and more of a maxed out deck. But on this one, I have one that I guess is a bit more friendly for newer players if you happen to pull some of these cards. The whole point of it is to showcase Shuri, who is just an incredible card altogether. And we're going to be doubling up power like Red Skull going up to 30, Doc Ock going up to 20, Typhoid going up to 20. And we can go ahead and either Arnim Zola these plays, we can Taskmaster them. It's extremely fun, and best of all, if Leech hits our Red Skull, like, thank you. Thank you, small man. And if he has a leader and he does something like our Typhoid, or if he does something, especially Typhoid is a great one for leader, we have Luke Cage on our side. And for extra toxicity, I like to throw in Hazmat every now and then too. And so the whole thing is about loads of power. You don't have to do a lot in your early turns. It's all reserved for the end. And dude, it's just a ton of fun to play.
I love the idea of like countering the meta, right? Like you literally just did a video about that too. And I love the idea that like you're countering the meta with a very, specific deck that actually like works really well just by itself. But when people try and throw these like meta tricks, the leeches and the leaders, you've got answers. And I think that's fantastic. Cozy, what do you think we pilot this deck to an easy dub?
Let's do it. Let's take it in. And yeah, I gotta say, man, Luke Cage, this is really where he shines. And I got to look at this. Look at this man, Alex. Does this speak to you?
It does speak to me. It does. Like I don't want to fight that man. I gotta be honest with you. It has a very Mike Tyson look.
That's a bad look at that Cage. I think you should get Alex across your chest. He has Cage. It'd be kind of cool to get Alex across your chest tattooed. Let him know in the comments, guys. Let him know. I like throwing you off. All right, let's go to the battle, yeah? Okay, Alex, so let's hop into the battle. And wow, we got Project Pegasus out the rip, dude, which is such a fun location for this deck. Alex, now, there's so many options we could go with here. I kind of have one that I prefer, but what are you thinking with what the tools that we have?
I mean, I woke up this morning and I chose Doc Ock, but then again, like, I know that's complete, like, just psychotic nonsense.
Yeah.
I'll let you decide. It's your cubes, but like for me, it's like Doc Ock is like so spicy. Why not just empty this guy's entire hand right now? Like just get it out of the way.
Yeah, it's kind of both. Like you can see exactly what he's doing and just pull them all out right at the rip. I'm actually gonna go Doc Ock because Shuri we can't play much outside of that. I was thinking of maybe doing Shuri and we just wait until Maximus our next turn. Let's choose Chaos. Let's just see what he's got in hand. Let's go with the Chaos play. Why not?
He played nothing.
Which means we're pulling his 2 move options, Alex.
He just got wrecked. Oh my god. Does he leave already? If he leaves already, I'm accepting this as the win. X-Mansion. Oh, X-Mansion's gonna just completely ruin us.
No. Hey, I'm embodying right now. We're gonna get ourselves an Infinite from this thing. I feel it in my core. I'm cracking up here.
The Raft. The guy can't even play cards.
This guy is already looking rough because we can already just outmatch his power on Project Pegasus and at least contend it. Or we could go play Raft. What would you like to do, Alex?
I know what. I don't think we need to play Raft. I mean, it's a free 6, but you could get like Null or something. Null low key a bad card for Raft, by the way.
Yeah, seriously, you can't do a lot there. And he moved his 1 Nightcrawler move. He's going Craven for the small +4, and now we're going to be putting some pressure. Luckily, we did give some cards back to him, though.
Here comes the 1-drop.
Oh, we got a Typhoid that's -1 across.
Oh, no, it's Arno Zola? Are you kidding me? How does this happen? Yo. Cozy, you're cursed, man. Whoever's running your X-Mansion is completely inebriated.
My hope is that
needs to go for a walk. He needs to touch some grass, man.
My hope, Alex, is that we get ourselves an Arnim Zola that we can then play into this Arnim Zola and just cause chaos. Cause more chaos than we already have. So I want to build up more, Alex, on the left side here. We played Shuri, and now we can have a lot of fun with our next play. Really, what we're probably going to do is I think we go with Red Skull on this, and then if we get Taskmaster, awesome. If we get Arnim Zola, chaos, and we're looking good. And then if worst comes to worst, we do have an Enchantress play that we can do. Other options, if we want to look at, is we could go ahead and play Typhoid this turn, and then maybe Enchantress later on. But I think we go Red Skull, bud.
Sure, yeah, I totally agree. I think Red Skull gives you the highest chance to win here.
For sure. And we'll go ahead and play him mid. We could really, he's going to try to move. Even if he has Doctor Strange, it's going to be tough. It's a 30 burger, so it's going to be tough for this guy either way. And with Heimdall being played, it's tough kittens for him. Now, he did get Vision. That makes things a bit more interesting. Oh, out of all the cards, man, Lizard was one that we probably didn't want, Alex. But we're still good. We're actually still pretty good with what we have.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a situation where like he has vision. If he moves vision, I think you could probably trade that location, because if you play Typhoid Mary there, like it's weird, right? If you play 0 Typhoid Mary, yeah, or of course Nicolas Cage, that's interesting. I'm just trying to think here. What does this play? Like he probably tries to move out of the raft. No, I don't think he expects you to play raft. So if you Typhoid Mary there, if he moves vision, or if he brings vulture, you just win.
Yeah.
Like, can he really contest 2 locations?
I'm thinking we do that.
That's the most power, yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to go 22 over here. Yeah, we're risking it a bit, but then we're winning these 2 locations either way. Then we have 10 over here. If he moves his cards to compete with it with vision, he's going to lose the raft. It's a lose-lose. We're full sending it because we're on the channel.
Ooh, the snap!
Let's go. See what we get. We started with a Doc Ock pull and a Heimdall. This has been absolute chaos. If we got Taskmaster or Arnim, this was the easiest dub of our life.
Oh, he goes!
He competes. He would have to have a template, which he's not going to have in this deck.
I can't believe that just happened. I'm having a hard time understanding what's happening right now, dude. Oh my god. Oh, no way. I can't believe it. Oh my god. I can't believe what I just saw. He clutched defeat from the hands of victory. He threw... I can't believe this game.
This was the
What
worst
a way to
game
end this
show.
video, Cozy.
This was the worst game to ever showcase how the deck's supposed to work. Oh, man. But this was... if you're going for comic factor, this is definitely up there, man. That was a load of nonsense. He played his Raft Odin. And
The best, one of the best games of all time. I'm so happy we recorded this. What a way to send this video out, man. And you know what, guys? I gotta tell you, Cozy's got another video as well. He made a video featuring 4 other content creators. You've got to check it out. It's absolutely fantastic. Cozy, thank you so much for joining me tonight. That was an amazing game. Your deck's amazing, and as all your content is, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate it.
dude, I think a monkey could have done what I just did there, but it was awesome. It was awesome. Thanks for having me, and at least we brought some entertainment.
Of course, buddy. Links in the description to Cozy's video. We'll see you guys there.